George Clooney wrapping up his Tony-nominated performance in Good Night and Good Luck this weekend.
You know, it's a story that's deeply personal to him. He's up for the Best Actor in a Play in one of the most competitive races on Broadway season. It's also worth mentioning that the play has broken its own record again for highest weekly gross for a Broadway play, bringing in over $4.2 million last week.
Yeah, at the start of his run, entertainment reporter Joelle Garguilo talked with a two-time Oscar winner.
Hello, hi everybody.
There it is, his name in lights, and George Clooney at the start of his run at the Winter Garden Theater.
How's the family?
They're really great. They're having fun. They're here. They're in school. They're having a really good time, and it's exciting. It's a different world for us, and it's exciting to be here.
The show is Good Night and Good Luck, a stage adaptation of the 2005 film Clooney co-wrote and directed. Though this time he stepped into the role of legendary journalist Edward R. Murrow.
And what matters? Honesty, facts, integrity.
A role that he told me hits close to home.
Truth.
How much of you doing this is almost a love letter to your dad in some way?
Well, it is. My father was an anchorman for 40 years, and I'm very proud of the person that my father has been his whole life and career. He taught me all the things that I believe in. I'm proud to represent his craft,
What do you remember about being a kid and going to visit him at work?
I used to run the teleprompter for him.
Stop it.
In the old days, and teleprompters in the old days was a camera on top of paper that was taped end to end, and you would run it underneath the camera with a big light on it, and then whenever they do a commercial break, they go cut that segment, and you had a giant paper cutter, and you would cut it, and then you tape it back together. That's how old I am.
If you're not familiar with the play, it follows Murrow's historic confrontation with Senator Joseph McCarthy, a story Clooney says still resonates.
Unfortunately, this is a story that has been relevant for 100 years and continues to be relevant, and so I think it's a good time to always remind ourselves of us at our best. And he was pretty much us at our best, Murrow was.
As I have gotten more mature, I will just say, instead of saying aging, but I really appreciate firsts because I think they're so hard to come by as we get older. We, go on in our professions, but to experience a first like this, making your Broadway debut with a piece of work that means so much to you. Can you just walk me through the wave of emotions?
Well, yeah, it's fear. It's abject fear.
That fear paid off.
The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor,
earning him a Tony nomination for Best Actor in a Play.
Wouldn't you guess?
From Hollywood's biggest stages to Broadway's most hallowed ground, on Sunday, Clooney's record-breaking Broadway run comes to an end.
Congratulations.
Leaving with a Tony nomination and a lasting legacy.
You're such a gem.
Joelle Garguilo, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.